Ask yourself how old you would be if you didn't know the day you were born.
How old are you?
Don't know. What year is this?
You don't know?
I asked one of the tribal elders one day when I was born, and he said, in the summertime.
Hi, it's John Ricks back again to talk to you some more about how to stay fit and healthy as you grow older. Last time I told you I'm 76 years old and I'm a kite surfer. Well, I'm still 76 years old and I'm still a kite surfer. I spent a couple of days kite surfing down in Key West this week, and I've posted a couple of videos on that on Facebook if you want to look at them. Today what I'd like to talk to you about is the physiology of fat, or perhaps we should say the psychology of fat. Why is it that it's so easy for us to get fat? Simply speaking, it's because our bodies want us to be fat. Fat is our body's emergency storage, its survival mechanism. A long time ago, our ancestors were primarily hunters and gatherers. They went out looking for food, spent a good deal of their life, I'm sure, trying to find food. Some days the salmon were running, some days there were berries and nuts to spare. Some days the ground was frozen and there was nothing to eat at all. So our bodies learned to store fat for those times when we couldn't find anything to eat. The problem is today, we always have enough to eat. In fact, we always have more than we need to eat. The reason we get fat is because we eat more food than we need in any given day. Our body then says, oh good, here's some extra food. I'll store it here on this guy's stomach or on this gal's thighs and save it for a rainy day when I'm really hungry and I need it. The trouble is, in today's society, that rainy day never comes. And so the fat never gets used. It just accumulates year after year after year after year. A pound here, a pound there, until we're carrying around quite a bit more baggage than we ever would have wanted. The situation's made even worse by the fact that we eat so much refined sugar. What's the problem with refined sugar, you say? Well, the problem is that it goes through our system so quickly. We dump that Coke into our digestive system. The digestive system says, oh wow, this stuff's already used. It dumps it right away into our bloodstream. Our poor pancreas looks at all that sugar and says, wow, that's a lot of sugar. I've got to produce more insulin. And so it produces a whole bunch of insulin that either burns that sugar or stores it as fat right away. An hour later, we're hungry again because it's all gone through our system. It's been either used as energy or it's been stored as fat, and our body says, I'm hungry, feed me. And so we go out and we have another snack because we've hit that sugar low where we feel like we're run out of energy and we've got to have something else to get us going again. It becomes a vicious cycle, doesn't it? How do we stop that? Well, we stop that by substituting something that's more nutritious, something that takes a little longer to digest, and have that instead of having the Coke or the candy bar. We could eat an apple or a banana or a bunch of grapes or any other piece of fruit. Chances are it has almost as much sugar in it, well, probably not, but it has a lot of sugar in it, just like the Coca-Cola did. But instead of being ready to go into the bloodstream, the digestive system has to process it for a while. So that sugar enters our bloodstream a little bit at a time. The pancreas can then deal with it by producing enough insulin to convert that sugar into energy so that we can do the thing, whatever it is, that we're doing. It takes, instead of an hour, perhaps 4 hours for all of that to happen. There's also some other nutrients in there that are vitamins and minerals and other nutrients that our body needs and can use instead of just the raw sugar. And so that's more beneficial to us as well. And the net result is we feel just as good, we have just as much energy, we feel just as satisfied. Now the flip side of that is, during the course of the day, we take in fewer calories than we're using, and the body starts to burn up some of that fat instead of using the sugar from the Coca-Cola that we just drank or didn't drink. It starts using some of the fat that it's stored, and it takes that fat and it transforms it into energy, and that's how you're going to lose that weight. So we talked a little bit about this last time. Cut back a little bit on the amount of refined sugar you're eating. Donuts, candy bars, soda pop, whatever it might be. Add something that's more nutritious. A piece of fruit is an excellent substitute. A handful of nuts might be another good substitute if you don't particularly like fruit. I can't imagine people not liking grapes. To me, a bunch of grapes is about the best snack on the planet. But if you don't, then you don't. Find something that you do like. Maybe it's those little bitty carrots that you can get at the grocery store. Something that you can munch on that will give you some nutrition and not so much sugar. Is that enough? Well, we talked about you might lose 10 pounds a year that way. It's not enough. Fitness is more than just stopping sugar. If you don't do anything else, that's going to benefit you. But there's more to being fit than just losing weight, isn't there? We also need to tone up our muscles and help ourselves to have more energy. And we can do that only through exercise. One of the problems of just going on a diet and cutting out calories, if we're just sitting on the couch watching TV and the only exercise we're getting is using our thumb to change the channels, our body looks at that and thinks, well, this guy doesn't need muscle. I'd sure like to save that fat for an emergency. He's not using his muscles. I'll just take some of those muscles and transform them into energy. And so we get not just, we lose weight maybe, but we get even just a little bit more flabby than we would have been if we'd kept eating. So we want to prevent the body from burning that muscle instead of the fat. And the way we do that is we do that by using the muscles. We have to exercise. One of the most effective exercises that we can do is also one of the simplest that we can do. It's just walking. If you walk a mile a day, that burns 100 calories. That doesn't sound like much when you consider that it takes 3,000 calories to burn a pound of fat. But if you multiply it by 30 days in the course of a month, 20 minutes a day of walking, and if you walk about 3 miles an hour, it'll take you 20 minutes to walk that mile. So in 20 minutes every day, we burn 3,000 calories, we use up a pound of fat, we lose 12 pounds over the course of the year. We combine that with the 100 calories we saved by switching from Coca-Cola to a nutritious snack, and now we're talking about 25 pounds in a year. And we've just begun. These are the first 2 steps. There are going to be other steps that we can take. They can be instead of these, they can be in addition to these. We're going to let you decide how much of this you want to use. Remind you again of what Teddy Roosevelt said, do what you can with what you have where you are. I don't know where you are. I don't know where you want to be, but I do know that if you'll do these 2 things and nothing else, you're going to be stronger, healthier, and happier. And there's more to come. I hope you enjoy these videos. I hope you'll join me again for the next one. Thanks for being here. Good night and good health.